Good morning and welcome to Fellowship Friday. Today we have Mr. and Mrs. Dean in studio. We have a wide variety of things that we're talking about, from Geiger counters to Mrs. Dean sewing her own wedding dress. It's a really good episode and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So on with the show. So let's get your guys' story, some of your background. There's a lot of years in your past, I'm sure.
I'm afraid that's a pretty long story.
I was born a poor black child.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. What happened?
It's a... You leave that out. It's a line from The Jerk by...
What's his name? Steve Martin.
No, we were married about 30 years ago, and had 4 children, and have seven children. I take it. Start talking, dear.
So I was married previously and have 3 older kids. We met in church, and we sang in the choir together without meeting. I remember walking down the hall, and he shook my hand and introduced himself to me. A year later, a friend of ours set us up, invited us both to her house for lunch.
Wing woman.
Yes. So I've always said, God said, no, not yet. It's not time. Because as soon as we met, we were in love and married months later.
It helps when you're older.
Yeah.
You know what has to happen.
Was that at Community Baptist that you guys met, or was that at a different church?
That was at Life Fellowship in Westminster.
Oh, okay. So when did you guys come here?
Oh, goodness. We moved up to Brighton to...
Grace E. Free Church.
That's what I was going to say. And I was going, no, we're in Grace now. No,
That's
we're in
a
Grace
different
Bible
Grace.
Fellowship. It was Grace
different one.
Evangelical Free Church at the
okay.
time. And then we moved our family over here 30 years ago.
To get out of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a common theme with
Yes.
people.
So then after a few years, Grace E. Free broke up. The pastor left and couldn't find
That's
the
why we
appropriate
came
pastor.
here, yeah.
So we came here. And the rest is history. We've been here 28 years now.
Wow.
How old are you?
28.
Yeah.
As long as
Okay,
I've
then.
been
We've
alive.
seen you walking around. In
Yeah, that's right. We've been in Brighton 28 years,
Yeah.
at this church 25.
25.
Okay.
Wow. It's a long time.
well,
Yeah.
there's
So you guys
still
have
3 or
seen-
4 families that have been here longer than us.
Yeah.
So
Not very many.
Yeah. You guys
Anyway.
have seen all of the tear down and put back together. And how
good,
was
the
that
bad,
for
and
you
the
guys?
ugly.
We've
I'll
seen a lot
tell
of
ya.
stuff.
With all the renovations and everything, is it weird having a completely different church?
I think it's wonderful because
Yeah.
they're so nice. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And we saw changes happen even before that. We tore down a wall that was between the kitchen and the fellowship hall. That was a
Oh,
library.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So even before you guys got here, there were
Right.
renovations going on.
It's crazy.
It's an old church.
Yeah.
One of the things we noticed when we came here, too, that was really stand out, this church has always stood out a little bit to us, was when we first came, the kids were in the habit of addressing the adults as Mr. and Mrs. Dean rather than first names. And that was kind of different for us because we were used to more casual at an evangelical free church,
Oh, yeah.
but found that the addressing by the youth in a respectful manner to the adults, it made me behave better as an adult.
Yeah.
When you hold an adult to a higher standard of, so I really
Oh, that's
appreciated that,
interesting.
and I don't see it so much today, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, the kids would introduce themselves and then ask, what's your last name? They wouldn't even ask, what's your name, or say, hi, I'm Ben.
Right.
But they would make sure to say, what's your last name? So they would always address you as Mrs. Dean.
that's respect there.
It is. I love it.
Respect for your elders.
Yeah. So I introduce myself that way still to kids, and they kind of look at me like,
I miss
Huh?
his name. Well, it's because the whole friendship thing. Kids want to,
Yeah.
well, not kids, but the adults want to be friends with the kids. It's like you're
Right.
not really a friend, though. You're supposed to
No.
kind of be a mentor to
You're-
them.
You're the adult.
Yeah, you're the adult in the
So-
relationship. Act like the adult.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's one of the things that drew us and that kept us here. It's always been a Bible-believing church, and we've always held people up and encouraged them to be better people. And that's the way we continue today. And hopefully, the church, we've met so many new people here that
Yeah.
these days there's new people coming every day. So that's good. Anyway.
It is. It's a ton of fun to watch new people come. It's been
Yeah.
really fun.
It's cool. Get to meet a lot of new people.
Yeah.
But, so you talked about being on the choir. You guys actually did some, I don't know, like Easter cantatas. Is that what they used to do here?
Well, that was at Life Fellowship. We were in a really big choir. That was a big church.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. When we came here, they had a choir, and we would sing out of the hymnals. So every Sunday, the choir did one song as a performance, and then we led the congregation in the rest of the songs. So we had practice every Sunday evening
Oh, okay.
for choir. And then when we got into more contemporary music, Jack and I led worship for years.
Yeah.
Him on the
Wow.
guitar, and then we got the DVDs where you'd put the words up on the screen
Oh, yeah.
or play the background tracks.
cool.
They were pretty silly,
Yeah.
but
And we really didn't have a band to play anything. We had a choir for several years, and typical Baptist type fare.
Right.
But I've lost my train of thought.
okay.
Go ahead.
So we led worship for quite a while.
That's it.
And then we sang in a quartet with Marianne Evangelista
Oh,
and
yeah.
Dave Eckhoff.
That's right.
And the two of us, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. We loved it.
Yeah, those were a lot of fun to watch,
Yeah.
too.
They were so much fun. The Gaither quartet stuff.
Yeah.
Brent
Barbershop.
Bailey and his bass. And
Yeah, Brent sang with us a couple
Oh,
times.
that's
That
right.
was really
Yeah.
fun.
So what are each of you for, like, your vocals?
I sing baritone mainly.
Baritone?
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
like to sing bass, but I can't get that low, and I like to sing tenor because they get all the glory.
All right.
And I can't do that either, so I sing baritone.
Just kind of hang out in
And
there.
back when I was singing a lot, before my voice went not so great, I could go anywhere from a high soprano to a low alto. I sang
Wow.
tenor a lot.
Nice.
When we did the cantatas, Mrs. Evangelista would learn the piano music within a couple of weeks, and then we would get together and record the practice tracks.
Oh.
So
cool.
I would sing soprano, second soprano, alto, and tenor, and then he would record the bass.
Wow.
So we made they were cassette tapes
That's
back
cool.
then. We made all the practice tapes
That's
for
awesome.
the
Yeah.
choir stuff. That was really fun.
That's a lot of fun, yeah.
It was cool.
Just that conglomeration, that fellowship, being able to do that together.
Yes.
It was
That's
good,
pretty cool.
and one of the memories from that was practicing at home at 9:00 at night on Saturday night,
Right.
and the kids always got to hear us at home because Susie and I would practice on the guitar, and it just became a thing in the family. It was a neat time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
For them
so-
to go to sleep hearing their
Yeah.
parents sing praise and worship songs.
Right?
It doesn't get any better than that.
That's cool.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess backing up a little bit on your time in the military.
Mm.
Want to talk about that a little bit if you can, or do you have to kill us if you do?
No.
We'll have to put
No,
a
I didn't.
classified on
I
it.
didn't-
Right.
I didn't do anything.
Classified disclaimer on it.
No,
Nah.
But that sounds pretty
I do-
interesting. I hear you talk about it on like Veterans Day or whatever
Oh,
we do
yeah.
here at church. Just give a little like snippet of what your job was and stuff. But I'd like to hear more about that
Okay.
if you'd be
yeah.
willing to.
Yeah, I was always I liked technical things, computers, electronics. Before computers, there was electronics. Back in the 80s and the 70s when I joined the Navy, and I joined their advanced electronics program, and I worked on Geiger counters to calibrate Geiger counters for submarines, and that involved a couple of classes. I went to Great Lakes, Illinois, for about a year for electronics class, and then Treasure Island, San Francisco for the Geiger counter thing. And then I spent a year in Hawaii and a year in Guam and 4 years in San Diego.
Wow.
Working on Geiger counters. I learned to scuba dive there and learned to fly, got my pilot's license
Wow.
at the same time.
You're
and
over the earth and then underneath it too.
Well,
Yes.
and that's an issue. You can't go scuba diving and flying in the same day because of the pressure differential.
Oh, really?
You get the bends in weird ways by doing that.
Did you learn that the hard way, or did they tell you?
No,
and you just
they
believed
tell
it?
you in class. And, yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, and I got to get my certification for scuba diving in Hanauma Bay in Hawaii.
Oh,
Because
wow.
our ship went over there for a year to service submarines back in '78 or so, and
It was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, between San Diego and Hawaii, boy,
Mm.
somebody's got to do it.
it was a tough fighting force. We flew paper airplanes off the back of the ship. I was pretty good with paper airplanes too.
Oh yeah. Even
So-
with the breeze coming in, you could still get that sucker out there.
It was yeah. I can still see it in my memories. Interesting.
That's cool.
Yep. So, in calibrating Geiger counters,
Oh.
there's all kinds of radiation. And being on Guam, there's all kinds of Agent Orange.
Yeah, that was that.
And that explains the heart disease and the Parkinson's.
Yeah, I
and
got a little bit of
Some of that,
left
yeah.
over from that. But,
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you calibrate Geiger centers? Do you have to
Oh.
expose
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
and them to the?
Yeah, we had I had a 30 curie cesium source. 30 curies is
I
enough
don't
to
even
kill
know
an
what that
elephant.
means, but that
It's
it's
sounds
a
a lot.
huge- It's a very dangerous cesium source that
Okay.
is it's in liquid mercury to shield it because mercury is like lead. It's very heavy,
Okay.
and you would move it a set distance out to where you know what the radiation level is. Then you'd put the questionable Geiger counter in, see what it reads, and close it all back up and adjust it to read properly.
Hmm.
And then, so we had a neutron source, plutonium and beryllium. We had an alpha generator, which was americium, and cesium-137 was the gamma ray generator.
I haven't even heard of half of those things
So
that you
you've-
just said.
You turn on the radiation, hold the Geiger counter, go, it's a little high, calibrate it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Do that with
you
several.
do that
and-
inside of a
and they were
glove
like,
box,
"You're
so you're not.
fine."
It's not just out in the open. It's protected.
Mm.
But,
You still got to handle it though.
You do.
Is that
yeah.
before they knew like all the
No,
effects?
This is
of stuff?
1970s. No, we pretty much had her down in the 20s.
They were still just like,
Right. So what
Yeah.
they
Lab rats.
said, right, was, well, this is a safe level. And then, 20 years later, they go, well, that wasn't actually safe.
Yeah,
It's a little lower is safe. And now they go, it doesn't matter. None is safe.
Right.
yeah, that's the determination. At the time, they thought there was a safe level,
Oh,
and
okay.
through the years, they've determined that actually it's not good for you. So you should. It's low as exposure should be as low as reasonably achievable, is the guidelines now.
Hmm.
So if you can make it lower, make it lower. So anyway, that's
Wow.
the rules today. And on a side note, and you don't want to do this, I went down and got a gastric bypass procedure at the VA,
Oh, okay.
and they serve you some eggs and put a little radioactive material on it. So have you eat it so they can watch it as it travels through your guts.
Wow.
And I came home with my Geiger counter and measured me. I was measuring 2,500 counts per minute on my stomach.
Wow.
It should be like 30.
Should be like 20 or 30.
Wow.
So yeah,
That
I
much?
was surprised how radioactive I was from that. Excuse me, not radioactive. I was emitting radiation,
I was like
not
Godzilla,
physically
start breathing
radioactive.
fire out of you.
Right.
and what they put in you is so short-lived.
Mm.
It only lives for 2 or 3 days, and then it just decays away, and you get rid of it too. So it
Wow.
doesn't hurt you. But we use that for
crazy.
medical things.
And because we're nerds, we have things like a Geiger counter at home.
Right.
yes, a
I was gonna
nerd,
say no normal person
curious
just has a
and,
Geiger
and
counter.
nerds kind of
Yeah.
define me. I'm curious about things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, what about you? What was your employment status?
I have
Megan?
such a crazy background.
Everything
It's
under the
crazy.
sun.
Everything. I went to college for computer programming, so I
Oh,
did
wow.
that for a while. But by the time I had 3 kids, as a computer programmer, I was making good money.
Mm-hmm.
But I was paying my daycare mom more than half my paycheck.
That's
And I
crazy.
said, that's dumb.
Even
I'm
back
gonna-
then,
Yes.
they were still high.
In the early 80s, mid 80s. So I opened a daycare in my home
Wow.
and did that for several years. Then got divorced, single mom. I had to take some other jobs, and my 3 kids could go to school. So I did after school daycare, but worked as a receptionist during the school hours. And then when we got married, I stopped being employed. So we had Sarah right away, and then 3 more that followed, Jackie, Abby, and James. And then we were up here by then. We knew we wanted to homeschool these 4. So we started homeschooling when Sarah was preschool and took them all the way through
That's
2-year
a lot of
college
years.
degrees. It's a lot of years. And the older kids, too. So the age difference between my oldest and youngest is 20 years.
Wow.
So, yeah. And during that time, I started the food bank here
Oh yeah.
and did that for 17 years. And it got bigger and bigger. So
Now it's
that
huge.
was, yeah,
Yeah, it was a bookshelf in the back.
right.
When,
The junior high boys' Sunday school room where we stored the extra upright piano.
That's cool. Just one single like shelf thing.
Yes, a little bookshelf with cans of beets and sauerkraut.
I think one of the things that's been good for us too is God's enabled us you to stay home and to
Very.
be with the kids and to do all that. So I guess we're just very thankful for that.
Very
I wasn't
thankful.
talking into the microphone,
It's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
but yeah, thankful for since you've been able to stay home.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a big blessing
Huge.
to have one of the parents there, because somebody's going to raise your kids.
Right.
It ain't going to be you. Who's it going to be?
It's gonna be
Even if
who
they're
knows.
with the people, they're with them 8 hours a day, and then you're with them weekends maybe. So you
Yeah.
really get 2 days to pour into your kids and train them up and stuff. But it's really nice having one parent home.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, it
able
was
to do
nice.
that.
And he worked from home a bit too. So when I
Yeah,
would
no
do
way.
food bank, I could leave the kids home with
That's
him.
cool. That's really nice to be able
Yeah,
to do that.
worked out
Yeah,
great.
I worked for the state of Colorado,
Oh.
so I did software development for the governor's office,
Oh, cool.
and had me writing software for CDOT and
Hmm.
for yeah, and I'm sorry, I got down a tangent here. I don't know why I interjected that.
I don't know.
Okay.
You've done lots of things too, though, photography and
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say you're a pretty good photographer, I hear. And I saw
Oh, well, thank you.
your
Thank
little
you.
studio in your garage that you have.
oh
It's a pretty cool
gosh,
setup.
yeah.
Yeah, when the kids were middle school age, I guess, and the market conditions warranted it, I got laid off from Kodak. That was it. It was the .com crash, where I was out of work. So I decided, and the market conditions were such that nobody was at work. The .com crash, everybody was out of work, or at least all the technical people. Lots of unemployment. So I decided I would do photography, because I've always loved photography and always done it amateur. So I would get involved with that. The digital revolution in photography was coming along.
You went pro.
Well, it turns out
did.
that every other laid off programmer decided to go into photography at that time also, because they had computer skills and it was going digital. And
The competitive market was
so
crazy in
the
photography.
competitive market was crazy. So I created a meetup group called Brighton Photographers and started organizing photography meetups. Found out there was a guy from Shutterbug magazine, Joe Ferrace, that lived in Brighton.
Wow.
Got to meet him and involved a little bit more. Got Sarah involved and my kids involved with shooting photo shoots for Shutterbug magazine at our house.
Oh, cool.
Sarah's got in about 5 issues of that, and Abby's in 2 or 3.
Wow.
When Joe didn't get a model, he would use my kids.
Well, and you know, Sarah never met a camera she didn't like.
So, yeah.
Yes, please. Pay?
Yes,
no, what's that?
please.
I'll do it for free.
So
Yes.
yeah, I shot high school seniors and weddings for about 5 years.
Wow.
Gosh, what was I thinking? One of the Brighton seniors from Brighton here, we've got in New York Magazine, was on a 2-page spread in New York Magazine for
Wow.
the positive aspect of high school football. And I was proud of that. It's kind of neat.
That's cool.
I
Yeah.
didn't-
Oh, it's such a cool picture.
They didn't
Oh, yeah.
pay me for it, but I was proud of it.
Yeah, just put your watermark on it, and then they'll
Right.
have to pay you for it.
I did get credited. It's kind of neat. I've got it hanging
Okay,
in my
that's good.
office there.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of neat. But that was the extent of my photography. And then the kids got old enough to where they actually had to have money to go to college and do things. So I went to work for the state and finished that up in the last 7 years of my career.
Wow.
So-
Well, I meant to say this earlier, but thanks for your service.
Oh, thank you.
very much. We like
Yeah.
our veterans around here.
Right, we do. I'm
I
glad.
was glad to get out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There was a lot of, I enjoyed the service and everything, but I was happy to get out.
Yeah, when you start while you're working there and you can't remember where you put your pin, and you're like, this isn't, this is probably because of something else, not just because normal people forget their pins. And then it's 16 pins in
You're losing your
in the same hour, and you're like,
you're
I gotta
losing
get out.
things already. So young in life, huh?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But so, yeah, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
With your photography, did you do any, was it strictly like portrait stuff, or did you do any landscaping or?
Mostly portrait. I enjoyed landscapes. I think you don't have to interact with people with landscapes, so I think that directs a lot of people
It's
where
an
they're
introvert's
going
dream,
to.
yeah.
I don't know, but people paid more, so I would generally weddings and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
With senior pictures, there's a lot of landscape. You like to go out at sunset,
Yeah.
Right.
go to Bar Lake. So you're taking those gorgeous pictures,
Putting a
but
senior
you got a
in.
kid
With
in
the
there
person
too.
in there, yeah.
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 That's
So
cool.
there's elements of all that with
Yeah.
it. And we did the church directory 10 years ago,
Right.
I guess. We shot everybody, and
Brighton-
there's always
the
a
Brighton
photographer
Options
available
Directory.
for the
Alright.
church
Yeah.
directory.
That's
so-
cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
What else can I dig out?
What else can we find out from your
Um,
lives? Now we can remember. I can't remember what I did yesterday, so asking me
Right.
about my past.
I like
is-
3D
gosh.
printing. I have an 8-foot Saturn V rocket with a launch umbilical
Oh,
tower
I
and
saw that. Yeah.
launch and crawler transporter. When I retired, I spent a year and a half building this model. It's a 3D model, and I enjoy space. And Starship's launching on Sunday, by the way.
Oh.
Starship Flight 10.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
if the weather
Well,
cooperates.
yeah, hopefully it'll launch, and hopefully it won't blow up this
I
time.
know. We'll
I'm
see.
still in a state of remorse or
Sadness.
sadness
Mm,
from that last explosion of Starship.
yeah.
It's dramatic.
It's crazy.
Somebody in church will identify with this,
Somebody will find it. Yeah.
Some rocket
Hopefully.
ship nerd like us.
because even the audio nerds are going, "This guy's weird."
The spaceship that he has in his garage.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the scale on that thing?
1/40th?
1/40th.
Yeah, which is an odd scale. I found out nobody builds 1/40th scale.
So
Well,
it's
it
kind of a
fit in the
challenge for you.
office.
Model builders always build to I forget 1/72 or something that's in between those two. What turns out that the guy that built the launch umbilical tower wanted it to be high enough to where it was spectacular, but not too big you couldn't move it. And 1/40th scale was the only scale you could do it in, because the typical model scales were too big or too small. So so he did that, and then the guy that built the rocket resized his to 1/40th scale to fit his. So so
Wow.
it's an odd thing, but it fills up. It's spectacular. It's really
Yeah.
nice. But that's
Awesome.
why the 1/40th scale.
And the detail in it, he's got the air conditioning units and the file cabinets and the eye wash stations.
We've got
and
all the
every little
plans,
thing.
That's
all
crazy.
the original NASA plans for the
Oh,
launch
really?
umbilical tower, including all the equipment, all the sizing for it, what it's all for, and that's on LUT Groups at io dot or group LUT Group at groups.io. That's what it is.
Wow.
And all of those plans have been available for people for years. So there's a few hundred other nerds around the world that really
few
enjoy
hundred.
this. And yeah,
It's a very
there's-
small group, but
It's
they're
a
out there.
small group.
So
It's
maybe
start-
what you said about finding somebody at church might not be true, but you know, the chances of finding one of those 100 here.
in the church, the wider church.
Okay, I got you. Hopefully, we'll see.
the church.
Fingers crossed on that one too. That we'll be able to
Yes.
find somebody else who can relate.
Let's see, what else did we do?
So 3 years ago, he retired. And
3 years
I
now.
said, I want to retire. So I retired. And we started traveling.
No.
And we said,
Yes.
we've been saving all these years. We worked. We stuck with the plan so we could retire comfortably. And in 10, 15 years, we're not going to enjoy traveling. We're going to be older and not get around as much. So
Right.
we are traveling
Doing
right
it.
now.
So
We're
you guys
doing
started
it.
going on cruises. Was that your first do you remember your first
Yeah, it
this
was-
is the start of retirement travel?
Oh.
Right,
What was
because
that?
we traveled a lot, even with the kids, or
Hmm.
leave the kids with my mom and take a vacation, kind of thing. We did a lot of road trips with kids,
Okay.
but
They,
yeah,
they were just a little shorter. We would go for a week or so. Now we've been traveling for 3 or 4 weeks at a time.
Right.
We've, yeah.
yeah. So we like to go to Europe if we can, to the Bahamas, of course. Those
Nice.
Caribbean cruises are always lovely, but we'll take a cruise that goes across either ocean and then stay for a week and fly home.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been a
That's
lot
awesome.
of fun. I don't remember the first, but the most recent that was really, well, now we've had two that were amazing. We took our two younger boys to Hawaii,
Oh, that's right.
Jackie and James. Spent a week with them there. They flew home. We got on a cruise ship, went down to Tahiti and those
Wow.
French Polynesian islands, onto New Zealand.
That's awesome.
Went
That's
to two
beautiful out
places
there.
there.
It
It
was
was
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Went to the Bay of Islands in New Zealand.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then
awesome.
on to Australia and spent 4 days in Sydney.
Wow.
We drove to the Blue Mountains. We took a rental car all over that
Which is
side
where
of
I rented my
Australia.
first Tesla.
Oh, really? Is that what you have a Tesla now, right?
Yeah,
Don't
we
you?
were-
Is
we
that what
rented it
got you
on-
into the Tesla
Pretty much.
deal? You're
yeah.
like, yep, this settles it.
Spending a few days
Yes.
driving it around, and yeah,
Really nice.
yeah, really enjoyed it.
That's cool.
So we did that,
Yeah.
and then we just got back from a trip to Tokyo. It was a Trans-Pacific cruise back from Tokyo, which was spectacular. I've never seen anything like that.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
What was your favorite trip that you took?
Favorite trip? Out of all the
Most
trips?
memorable?
My most memorable was a cruise that ended in Italy, and we spent almost a week in Rome,
Oh,
and it was amazing.
That's
it
cool.
was just the history. You turn around and go, oh my gosh, there's another ancient something.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, we toured the Colosseum and the dungeons and all sorts
That
of
is
neat
so
things.
cool. History now is amazing. What you're
Yes.
able to see things that you hear about or you watch in movies and I know this is made up, but it's kind of cool to see what they imagine it being like now in real life.
Yes.
It was like imagining what was happening inside of the Colosseum and
Right.
just to be able to be there.
Some people believe they had warships and they would fill it full of water and sail ships around and have naval battles in there.
In the Colosseum.
So
Really?
It was the greatest show on earth,
That's crazy.
which was gruesome and icky.
yeah,
but
well,
For them, it was.
that's what
Just
they
HBO
needed
Max, you know?
entertainment.
There you go, yeah.
Yes. Right.
Get some gladiator in here.
Oh, God.
yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to do that.
Oh, brother. They only hire historians to give those tours.
Oh.
So they really give you a lot of information.
That's
it was
awesome.
great.
What was really interesting was the joints that they put in the Colosseum and also at Pompeii was lead. They would pour lead in to join the rocks together. And in the Colosseum, they used it to join the bricks. And throughout the years, people would steal the lead, melt it back down to get it, and then the Colosseum would fall down. So they made
Oh.
them stop doing that. But it was fascinating how much.
So it would have been intact almost
It would have
fully
been
if
much
people.
better.
yeah, it had been looted for hundreds of years before they
Yes.
tried to fix
crazy.
it back up again.
Right.
So
We went in Pompeii. We went to one of the walls where we could see the lead, and we scratched it, and we were like, "Yep, it's soft. You can
Yeah.
still make scratch marks in it."
Wow.
Right. Shiny lead after 2,000 years. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
It
That's so
was
cool. That history that ties into like scripture too is like being able to
Yes.
see this mega government basically that was ruling at that
Oh,
time.
sure, yeah.
And that, the Bible talks about, Roman
Right.
soldiers and things, and then being able to connect them to what their world was like. Because I'm sure some of the stuff that the historians are getting is not from, it's not from a scriptural basis.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're probably going to have some stuff in there that's a little skewed off of, what it actually was. We can only see the present now, right? But
Yes.
Yeah.
obviously there's writings and, scrollings on the wall and stuff, and we can infer a lot of stuff from that. But it's just cool to see what scripture has to say about it. And they're like, this is the people that it was talking about.
Yes.
It's just so cool.
And so many of the new digs that they do confirm what the Bible says.
Right.
We love that.
Yes. That's so cool. But awesome.
Yeah.
Or something else that I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I can't remember it. It was on the
And
same.
you can't
along the
forget.
lines. Oh, your Tesla.
Oh, yeah. What
I was
about
going to
it?
ask how you like your Tesla.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
well, give me my soapbox.
Yes. Don't get him started.
get
Like
me
I,
started.
like I
Too
said, I
late.
rented that down in, and because it was a nice feeling and I enjoyed it. And with everybody hating on Tesla so badly, the prices got really depressed there and still are.
Oh, really?
For various reasons. The used Tesla prices are very low right now, relatively low. And so I was able to afford one. They're so expensive I never could look at them before.
Right.
But being in electronics and a nerd, it was interesting to do it.
It's
That's
a
cool.
computer that you can also drive.
Yeah.
That's why he likes it.
And yeah, literally, it's a robot. You don't think of it like that, but with the self-driving that they've put in, it is acting as a free-flowing robot. It knows how to drive. They've taught it how to drive. So
It's almost
when
like it can think for itself
it is
while you're driving it.
It,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's doing human-like thinking. So much so that when you ride in it, you sense what Elon Musk just came out yesterday and said it. The newest version feels sentient. It feels like it's alive,
Wow.
and it's because it's like if you're riding with an Uber driver, you take for granted that feeling that he's driving, and you feel safe because you know somebody's doing that. Well, that's the way that full self-driving makes you feel
Really?
until it messes up.
Till you go into the wall at
There's
60 miles
caveats
an hour.
to this. With anybody that's
Never
familiar
does
with the
that.
story would know that there's times that it messes up and we need to straighten things
Right.
out.
It
But
gets confused, but it's much safer than people because we have blind spots and we can only look in one direction at a time. But the car has so many cameras, it looks at everything all the time.
Right, and it's just constantly
And it's
updating
constantly
its information,
presenting
and it
it-
doesn't get distracted.
exactly.
Right.
So it makes you feel much safer going down the highway because if a car turns into you, my car will turn away and avoid it
Quickly.
quickly, 100 milliseconds.
Wow.
And
Even if there's a car like, do you know what it does when there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a car
Yes.
next to it?
if I haven't been in that situation, but if you got it into a pinch situation to where it's just going to close off, I'm assuming it will slow down to get out of it.
Oh.
But what a human would normally do.
But in much faster response time.
Well,
Much faster.
the response time is such that you can, at 80 miles an hour. I knew I could use this.
I know.
You travel 12 feet every 100 milliseconds, or 120 feet every second
Wow.
at 80 miles an hour. So the car can make updates even faster than 100 milliseconds. So every 6 feet or so, it'll correct in 1/10 the time that a human can respond to.
Right. Because
So-
it doesn't have to think about
No,
everything. All it's trying to do is keep itself from getting hit from something.
Yes.
While you're
Yes.
thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to get hit. I'm going to crash. I'm going to. So you're
Yeah.
thinking
Right.
about all that while you're trying
Where's
to
my
decide what to
phone?
do. Yeah.
and it's already seen hundreds of thousands of crashes and situations to know what to do. It's been trained using the best of the drivers, best human drivers, So the response you get is the best human response out of
Wow.
the situation.
But even better than the human response, because
quicker.
that's just
And
a
even faster.
jump pad, right?
So that's
get
what
started.
it's looking like. Is all the safety stats look like it's being safe? It's been running for 2 months down in Austin now with nobody behind the wheel, with people like Waymo just doing taxi rides. So it's looking like it's there.
So
It's-
does the do they all kind of connect to each other?
No.
Or like
They can, but they don't right now. No, it's the way self-driving works is using an array of numbers. It's not even a computer program. Most people think that self-driving stuff is using a program but they're not. It's a trained artificial intelligence inference engine that's just numbers. And you present video to this machine, and the machine looks at the video and steers the car according to what it knows. And it knows how to drive. It's really striking.
That's
If you want to
fascinating.
go for a ride after this, I'll show you.
Right?
Yeah.
But it is amazing. It's just the world's in for a striking change here in the next year.
I'd be interested to see how, because California was pushing for, I don't know if they still are, but for all electric vehicles.
Yeah.
By like
Yes.
2026 or something was what it was.
It is striking. If you go to California, it's 30% of the cars are Teslas. Here it's like 5%.
Right.
Back in Kentucky, it's 1%. We saw 1 or 2 Teslas the whole
In a
time we were
week.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
But in California, you can count 6 of them on the freeway right next to you.
Wow.
They're everywhere. So
But that would be just fantastic for traffic, right? Because
Right.
they're all able to keep
For
track of each
safety.
other and just down the freeway.
yeah, well, they don't have to keep track of each other, but if there was all, I think you'd eliminate crashes.
They're all perfectly in sync, right? So there's none of that error. I mean, not
Right.
technically in sync with each other, but you don't need to.
Most accidents are caused by humans not seeing something.
Human
they just
error.
go into a
Yeah.
lane. So those kind of errors are eliminated.
Right.
Because you see it, the car doesn't go there. And it's,
And people slowing down for things on the side of the road, and that causes the backup. That's like,
Yeah.
what are you even looking at? There's a bird, and now we're backed
Right.
up for an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
There
So-
wouldn't be any of that.
so I think the safety issues, you'll see them pushing forward, saying we can save 40,000 lives a year just by eliminating these human crashes if we can.
Right.
So I just think that'll be a topic of discussion over the next few years as people realize that cars will actually do this. And they find out semi-trucks will too. They're going to be flipped out. So
Yeah.
it's
They
going to
came
change
out with a Tesla truck, didn't they? The
Yeah,
Tesla
yeah.
semi. I don't remember what it's called, but
Tesla semi.
Tesla semi.
Yeah, pretty
Creative. Okay,
They're not,
I guess
yeah,
that's what
they're
you get
not
when your
imaginative.
CEO is autistic. I guess he's just
Right.
like, I don't want to think about the name. It's just a Tesla truck.
much. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but I think it's an exciting time. After being in electronics and technology my whole life. You guys are at a situation right now that is bigger than what it was in the 90s when computers and the internet took off. And everybody's going, look at computers. We can put computers in our shipping business, and we can make computers do this.
Look what we can do. Back
AI
when you could
Right.
hear your
AI is
monitor
bigger
turn
than
on.
that.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on right now is
Right.
a larger movement.
The boom.
And so I envy you guys being able to see what's going on. I'm telling Jackie, learn how to do prompts for AI. Understand how AI is working.
That's cool.
Because it's going to be big.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna be
Huge, I tell you, huge. It's my best Trump interpretation there. Impression.
Impression.
We do like being to change, if you're done with Teslas.
Yeah, I think he's done nerding out
We
now.
love being involved with politics too.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
since we've been married, we've been going to meetings. We've been precinct committee persons, running caucuses. He was district captain for a while where we
Oh.
live, and
you-
still do a lot of that.
Administer all the precincts. So you got about
Okay.
10 precincts with people that try to encourage everybody to vote in their precinct for
Oh.
their particular party.
Right.
So
We
yeah,
need
was
more of
an
that
honor.
for sure.
We do.
And you know your stuff, Mrs. Neen.
Thank you.
You're very I was gonna say influential, but that wasn't the right word. intelligent, knowledgeable, any one of the
Thank
other
you.
words about that
Intelligent and
stuff. So if
knowledgeable.
anybody wants to talk to you,
Right.
you'd be more than happy to talk their ear
That's
off
like
for
a-
however long they're willing
Don't
to
get
listen.
me started. Yes.
That's your Tesla.
I
You have
love
politics. He's got Tesla.
civics, and when my last kid graduated high school, I wanted to continue teaching. I love to teach. I can teach Sunday school here, but not a lot of politics. So I started teaching other homeschool families.
All
We
right.
would get 5 or 6 families together in somebody's big living room and once a week teach civics lessons.
Yeah.
So I'm not teaching right now, but I still put together lessons and text those to several of the parents.
That's one thing that I'd really like to learn more of is history. I know you're a
Yeah.
history buff too, but like
Right.
there's so many little stories within history that nobody knows about just
Yes.
because even when I was in school, like what they taught about on history was like the main points of history, but even then it wasn't super extensive. It's like, oh, this one guy in this battle like basically changed this whole thing that like it could have gone a completely different way. And I'm like, what the heck? That's an awesome story.
Yes.
Why don't we know about stuff like this? Like, who's this
Right.
guy? What's his name and stuff? But you know a lot of, I wouldn't say random facts, but a lot of facts about stuff that nobody else would really know about. And it's
Right.
like, where do you get this stuff?
Right, right.
And I'm sure the books that you
Yeah.
studied
We read a
up
lot.
in were much different than they are now. They're like picture books that people get in schools now. Back then
I
it was
know. But
6,000
even in
words a
our
page.
day, yeah. When I teach junior high school kids civics, I ask the parents to come and I say, well, because I want you to reinforce, I only have 1 day a week. If you're homeschooling, you can go back over this stuff. But really,
Smart.
my secret motive is to get the parents in the room because they often come to me and say, I never learned this
Wow.
in high school. Back
Yeah.
in our day, we didn't learn it.
Right.
I just find it fascinating.
That is
so
cool.
I do read the books and
All
look
the
up
books.
those little personal stories are so interesting.
Do you have anywhere that you go, like online or anything, to find like accurate history? Because nowadays,
Right.
with it being so twisted and everything has to go DEI or
Yeah.
everything has to go. Do you have somewhere that you go to find like accurate history, or do you just use books strictly?
Right. I really trust the wall builders.
Wall builder.
Their
Okay, yeah.
stuff is so accurate. Glenn Beck, too, has good, accurate history. So I do read a lot of books, or at least glance through them, and you can tell pretty quick, okay, this one leans this way, this one will tell the exact same story, but lean this way. And you kind of have to read both, see what they have in common, and you go, okay, that's probably true.
Yeah.
And then the stuff where they're giving you the opposite side of the story, you have to make those fit and hope you came down factually
Right.
because we don't know today because
Yeah.
the history depends on who wrote the book
Right.
or who won the war.
Who won the war?
That's true.
Yeah. I read audiobooks a lot because it's a little more convenient for me. I don't like to just sit and look, but I'll wear headphones and work on something and then listen to audiobooks. And history is wonderful through that.
Are you able to remember easier listening to stuff than when you read it?
I know with
Like
this-
retaining that?
with
Because
this-
with me, if I work and I'm listening to something,
Oh,
I'll have
yeah.
to go back 30 seconds because I'm like, what did he
too.
just say? I
Certainly,
just
yeah, you can
zoned
be
out.
distracted. Susie gets distracted easily from it. No, I'm doing mundane stuff or routine things that you're not really thinking about what you're doing. You're listening, and I
Tuning that Geiger counter.
Right.
Brent Bailey got me a job down at Colorado Serum while I was unemployed for a period of time there, and we would have to build little boxes to ship vaccines in. And had to have styrofoam things, and so I'd have to make 100 of these boxes.
It's an oddly specific job.
So you'd fold
Brainless,
up,
yeah.
brainless cardboard folding, and you can listen to an audiobook for that and get by and not miss a thing.
He does much better listening. I do better holding it in my hand. Even I don't like reading on my phone. I want a page where I can remember, oh, this was on the right-hand side, 2/3 of the way down the page.
Do you think that's
And then-
tactile, or do you think that's more visual, or maybe a combination of both?
Combination. I'm very audio with a lot of things, but with reading specifically,
Reading.
I want the paper in my hands.
Gotta
Yeah.
feel that. I like
Yeah.
textured books. Those are kind of nice. Like the front panel, you find a real nice textured front book.
Scratch,
Like,
Yes.
scratch and sniff is what you're
books. Those are my favorite kind. The ones with like the scratch and sniff stickers.
Yes.
Those are even better.
I'm currently reading a book called Aftermath about how denazification in Berlin after World War II in the 40s and 50s.
Oh wow.
So it's very interesting, but nerdy kind of history book. But
Found out you're more of a nerd than you let on, Mr. Dean.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm more of a nerd than you know.
Do you have a shirt that says I'm a nerd with some big glasses on
I
it?
have one that says there are 10 types of people in the world: those that know binary and those that don't.
Don't get it, but
Yeah.
That's right.
But that guy in church that knows what I was talking about earlier, he knows what that
He
means.
will go,
that's Craig probably
I
knows.
get it. If you know what binary is, that's, yeah, we're nerds. I'm sorry.
Okay. 10 in decimal is
In
one
binary. Right, sorry.
is a 1 and a 0. But
Okay.
in binary, the 0 place is, or the 1, it's,
In decimal, you have 10 digits,
there you go.
0 through 9. When you run out, you have to go to a 2-digit number. So 0 through 9 is 1 digit. Then after 9, you got to go to 10. You start over.
Okay.
11, 12, 13. In binary, there are only 2 digits, 0 and 1. So by the time you get to the number we call 2, in binary, it's 10. 1, 0. You ran out of digits
think-
after 1.
I think I saw a video explaining it
Yep.
where it's like you go up 0, 1, right? Now you get up to where you're at 10.
10,
That one
11.
switches to 0. Now you're at 1,
Exactly.
Yes.
0. And then that keeps, the next one flips. Now you're back again.
Yeah.
Doesn't it extend out this way too?
So by 4, it's written as 100. And
number.
it's every time 2
Okay.
goes up to another power, you get another digit.
right.
So you're in 3 digits, 4 digits, thousands, millions very quickly.
Are you able to just like look at that and know what it is off the cuff, or does it take you a second?
I know the powers of 2 up to a pretty high, up to 64, 65, 536. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024 is 2048, 4096, 16, no, 80, 80 oh,
Yeah, we're nerds. I'm sorry.
He's gonna keep going.
yeah, I can.
I couldn't even
My
separate
brain's
the
not
numbers
so
he was
good.
saying. It just all mashed together to me.
But yeah, leave that out. Don't put that in there.
No, that was impressive.
I trust your editing. No, just in getting older, I've noticed my brain's not working the way it should.
I know.
You got
So-
like 10 numbers past what I could do. So
81, 92, 16, 384, 32, 768, 65, 536.
there you go.
Well,
That's all the higher I can go. But that's 16 bits.
right, which is a hexadecimal, which is a whole nother. That's a computer thing.
Computer stuff. Yeah. It's interesting to me that there's like this level of knowledge,
Yeah.
right, for computers and stuff. Like you get into how it works and like how it operates. And then there's like our level kind of where it's like we don't need to know how it works or operates specifically, but we can use it to our advantage. Whereas it's like the
Absolutely.
levels of knowledge are like you don't necessarily need to know how something works specifically.
No.
But you can
Right.
use it to your advantage still. And that's just
And it's
interesting.
always been that way, or at least in technology, it's been that way. Because assembly language, for instance, the low-level assembly language that makes a microprocessor work, I know how to do. I did in school, but you don't need to. So you use higher-level languages like C or C++. Nowadays with AI, you don't need to know how to code. You just
Right.
need to know how to prompt AI, and it'll generate the code for you.
Right.
And it's I've not done any of that because I'm retired and don't want to work with computers anymore. But but it's amazing.
Right.
It is amazing. So we learned how the computers worked, but then there came a point where even in coding, we had to code every line. But then it got to a point where you could just cut a big chunk of code and paste them together. So you
Higher
didn't
level
have to
languages
do
let you-
nearly as much coding. And now with AI, you take the whole program, cut and paste.
Yeah, you don't even have to do anything.
You don't have to know how to
I-
code at all.
Asked it to create me some, just something I'd been thinking as like a side project, but some like follow cam
Mm-hmm.
for these things on Sunday mornings, so we don't even have to have somebody back on stage and is like, can you help me create? Because I have a 3D
good.
printer and like give me like the file, something
Perfect.
that I could do
Good.
for that, and like code with like a Raspberry, what do you call those,
Pi.
Raspberry Pi
Mm-hmm.
thing, and it's like, here's some options, here's a budget option, here's unlimited budget option. I'm like, okay, we've got a budget option,
We don't
but
have that.
but I'm like, can you give me all of the stuff
I've
for
got
this?
a
And it's like, yeah.
microcontroller too that might work to help you out. I forget the name of it, but James used it for a lightning display on one of his D&D
Oh
things.
yeah,
I don't know if you were involved with that at all,
I think so. Yeah.
but
Probably.
those lightning
Yeah.
flashes were from a microcontroller.
Oh yes, I
that-
remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So
With the
That's awesome.
Raspberry Pi. Yeah,
Oh really?
that was fun.
That's cool.
So yeah, you don't have to
But-
know. Just ask AI,
Which is pretty cool.
put
but
together.
learning and stuff. But that's the thing too. Is like, well, people won't know how to do anything anymore. And it's like,
Right.
eventually, yes, if people
Well-
just rely on that. But if you ask it to do something, you can learn through the process of building the thing too. Especially if you have to build it yourself. Still, you don't have a robot that's going to build it for you in your home. You still kind of have to put all that together yourself.
The fact that you can ask that question of something, that's what's different. My whole life, I've had questions about, like, why does this work this way? Why do geese fly in a V? How do flies land on a ceiling?
Right.
And silly things that, who do you ask? But you can ask AI now because it has all the knowledge
Right.
of
Humanity.
every
basically is
PhD
like
known to man.
Right.
So I enjoy asking questions like that. Like,
dumb, stupid questions that
If
no
I
one has
go-
the right asking.
yeah, if I
but-
go to the end of the universe, what if I take another step? What's after that? And to try to those kind of
You'll
questions. are
blow
fun
up
to-
AI if you ask those types of questions. You better be careful.
Well, I don't think so.
They still come
locked
up
up.
with an answer, and
Yeah.
you have to go.
Yeah.
I
They
think
try.
you made that up.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, it's crazy, Joe. We just had a party for my mom,
Mm-hmm.
but Joe, for one of the games that we did, he put, it was like, did Mama Rhodes say it or was it made up? Did AI make
Oh,
it up?
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So he asked questions like that. So he just put them into his Chat GPT, and he was like, can you make up some questions, and then just, based off of the questions I give you. So it started making stuff up, but it started using people's nicknames
Oh,
for like people that we have. So like
Clever.
Taran, it started using like tart and putting like tart in there.
oh, interesting.
And then
yeah.
it would do like stories about, not necessarily stories, but like characteristics of people almost that would happen. So it was like one with Cassie. It was like, Cassie said that it made her sick, but she had to anyways. Talking about like something with gluten, because she's like
Oh.
gluten free, and I was like,
Right.
that's so interesting that it knew that. And Joe were like, what are you telling your chat? Like, why are you telling it all this? I was like, I haven't told it anything. I just put it in, and probably from past something very small that it
Yeah,
got out of that, and it's like, that is crazy. But something like that, Cassie's gluten free. She says she doesn't want any because it makes her stomach hurt, but she has to anyways. It's like, is that something Mama Rhodes said, or is that something made up? It's like, that sounds like something she would say, like joking
Yes.
about
Yeah.
or something.
What was the answer?
It was made up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were some that were really
Amazing.
close to, like it would tweak words, but it knew how to mess with people almost. It's like,
Right?
just to get them to make it think that it was real. It's like, how does it know just based off the text? Because there's no tone, there's no cadence of the voice, there's nothing in the text. But how does it know how to do that? And it's just crazy.
Some people will say that AI is just predicting what the next word will be. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing different. It's just a prediction engine. Well, nobody knows how we think. So we could be doing the same exact thing, just predicting what the next thing will be. The cognitive science, it's called it. Another thing it's fun to research. Areas, fields that you have no business being in. I can ask questions about the mind. What is this sense of sentience, the consciousness, for instance?
Right.
What is it to have consciousness? You'll find out that nobody really knows. It's really one of those great unknowns, like gravity. People have ideas of what it is, but it could be something completely different.
Isaac Newton.
Yeah. So AI is like that. We've modeled, we've built what the brain, the way we think the brain works. And when we show that thing a bunch of information, it remembers and it talks back to us. So you tell me what we're dealing with. It is thinking.
Wow.
It's not sentient. It doesn't have a personality. It's called qualia. It's this sense of knowing that I'm here in real time. I know that I am. I am, therefore I think, therefore I am, is what Descartes said, I think. AI doesn't have that.
Right.
You have to prompt it. But after you prompt it, it's doing the same thing we're doing. It's predicting what the answer is. And so, yeah, I will see what the technology actually is.
That's awesome.
But most people think it's just a computer, like the old computers in the 60s trying to do personality tests. It's not that. It really does understand what... Ask it if it understands you. It'll explain to you how well it
Right.
understands.
You got to think the millions of people using it, that just aids in combining all the information it has.
Right.
To,
That and trying to find what is truth in all of that. That's such a classic question that Herod said at the time. What is truth?
yeah.
Because that's the same question today
Hmm.
about what is true. And so,
We know what truth is.
well, that's
Right.
true. We do. And we have it. We should be out telling people.
Right.
So,
Tell
Yeah.
ChatGPT, let ChatGPT do the work for us.
Right? Yes. And we do, because it's read every book ever written, but you can ask about some things that today are controversial. It'll go to Twitter and put together an answer for you, but you can say, wait, you said this and it's not true. Look at this, or here's a statement from, whoever. And it will say, oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't consider that. So we can influence it
yeah,
to
make sure
consider everything.
make sure you tell it how to look at. If you're asking a Bible question, make sure you say,
Right.
as a Baptist pastor, how would I interpret this passage?
Or a biblical scholar.
Yeah, and that's the
Because you'll
interesting
get
thing
the-
with that.
You'll get the fake news coming in through
Right.
AI.
Yeah, if you
And,
just ask it a general question, I've done that with, and Josh has actually done that with his ChatGPT, is like trained it to be like free grace. But
Yeah.
the way he's trained it is to be, look at it for the like biblical historical context and like the like, what do you call it? I just lost the word. The
Hermeneutic.
plain text, basically,
yeah.
interpreting it through the plain text. Like, what is the plain text saying?
Yeah.
Don't give me what other people are saying. Read the verse for yourself and tell me based off the plain text. What is this? What are they trying to say? What is the author saying?
Very
and it'll come
good.
back with like free grace answers, obviously, because that's what it's trying to
That's
get.
what
That's
it
what they're trying to get
says.
across. And is like, so my ChatGPT is free grace now. So if I give it a question about something, it basically gives me a free grace answer
That's
for it.
cool.
It's pretty cool.
And that is the way life is. You'll find that people will be very strongly stand for a position that they have determined is truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
View it like a big sheet of paper. They like to visualize gravity on a graph paper with lined sheet of paper, and you put a rubber ball in it, and it kind of sinks down.
Mm-hmm.
Think of that as a fact that's true-ish to a certain point. And then you've got all of the truths in your life that you know. So there's little low spots in all of this big sheet of paper, and some are more true than others. And this is your view of reality. Some people call it a world view.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way I see things in life. I've been impacted, and this is true.
Mm-hmm.
So when something new comes along, or you interpret a fact, you interpret it based on that set of stuff. But you may not have the best conclusion learned. you may have a conclusion learned that's only halfway true. There's a better answer, but you can't find it because you're in this low spot already. You can't get out of this to go look at a deeper spot. And that's the trouble that AI has, is how do you, which direction do you look to find which direction I should go?
Right.
And so AI does that in various ways.
Good analogy.
But you can end up in the wrong spot and say, I think this is right. And people can too.
Right.
So self-inspection, make sure that you be humble because you could be really wrong.
Right.
And for two, you probably don't have everything right. You probably need to examine your thinking and to see if there's something you need to change.
Right.
So,
That's true.
AI gives us a good model for exploring things we never could think about. And you don't have people around you that you can ask because they don't think about it either. So, be curious.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we both like to teach. I
do.
taught photography classes during that time. That if you're trying to establish a business, establish yourself as the authority in the area, at least in your physical area. So I taught classes on photography and would have how to set up a wedding photography business and
Nice.
that kind of
The
thing.
alpha male of the area. That's what you got to do.
That's how I met
Assert
Joe.
dominance.
'Cause he said,
Right.
who's got the audacity to say he's a Brighton photographer? He's running the group. So, you got to be a little bit bold too.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
Anyway.
So Mrs. Dean, you are basically a seamstress, professional seamstress, right?
Never professional because I don't charge money.
All right.
I do love to
Semi-professional,
sew.
we'll say.
I grew
Semi-professional.
up in a family, 5 generations of us would get together, great grandma, grandma, my generation, my kids, and aunts and cousins, and we would sew together.
Wow.
And do, knit and crochet and all the home economics, stuff. But I do love to sew. And we are costumers
Yeah.
in our family. So I think I gave my kids that love for costuming, crafting,
I
sewing.
think so, yeah.
Now there's 3D printing.
Right.
But yeah, I do. I sewed all my kids' clothes way back in the 80s and the early 90s.
That's crazy.
And so I learned a lot, sewed my own clothes when I was even suits to go to work in. So you learn a lot about how to make things fit
So
cool.
the
and
wedding
whatnot.
dress.
I sewed my own wedding
Wow.
dress. Yeah.
Talk about personal.
So yeah, I love it when the girls here come to me and say, "Can you make my wedding dress fit?" If I can, I'll do my best.
Yeah. No, you do a great job too.
Thank you.
With stuff. Jack
I
loves
love it.
showing me some of his stuff that he wears to the
Oh, yeah.
Renaissance Festival, and he's like, "Yep, my mom sewed this thing up for me." I'm like,
Right.
that's cool that you still ask your mom to do stuff for you.
I
And
love
that she's willing to do
that.
that for you.
Yes. Yeah, our kids will still come to us and say, "Hey, we're going to a such and such. Do you guys want to come?" Oh, that's the best.
Sure.
When your kids still want to be around you.
That is fun.
Excuse me.
But cool. Well, thank you all for coming in.
Certainly.
It's been fun getting to know your nerdiness and your
Right.
all the quirks that you have.
I usually like your majesty, but your nerdiness will do.
Your
That'll do,
nerdiness.
yeah.
I guess.
Not
that's-
your
We'll
Royal
get you
Highness.
a shirt for that.
Right.
Says your nerdiness. You can call me your nerdiness.
Yes, my pronouns are
Yeah.
your
My
nerdiness.
pronouns are your nerdiness. That's awesome. That'll be sweet.
Thank you for having us. It has been a lot of fun.
It has been. Just getting to know everybody. It's kind of what we do, what we want to try to do. So
Yes.
got a little more insight into
Good.
what makes you
Right.
that we see now.
Oh.
Right.
So
It's more complicated after this many years.
I'm sure remembering that far back for me is not going to go well.
Right.
I'm trying to write a memoir for my kids
Oh, yeah.
of just stories and
Yeah.
things. AI works really nicely for that too, because you can generate it chatting to it
Right.
and then say, look over what I just wrote and correct for punctuation and grammar and spelling,
Yeah.
and then give me any ideas that you think would help fill it in.
Right.
so,
That's cool.
so it really helps with creativity. It's amazing. You
Right.
guys
Yeah.
are in for a wild ride.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's easy to remember old stuff. It's what happened last week. I don't know.
Right. What I ate
Already
for
free
breakfast.
yourself from this.
I shall.
Yeah, we shall free. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever else you want to do. Bye.